The Biden administration, which heads to the Supreme Court tomorrow to defend its student debt relief plan that could help more than 40 million Americans. This is a group of 6 Republican-led states are now fighting to block it. They're calling it expensive, illegal, and unfair.
A big issue, and senior Washington reporter Devin Dwyer covers the court, and he joins us now with more on what you need to know. Hey, Devin.
Hey guys, good afternoon. That $430 billion plan to cancel federal student loans for millions of Americans has certainly stirred up a lot of debate, but whether it will survive could come down to one state's claim that financial relief for its residents will do more harm than good.
The bid to block federal student loan forgiveness for millions of American graduates could hinge entirely on the state of Missouri. Anna Bain is one of nearly 500,000 Missourians who has debt relief on the line.
I spend a lot of time worrying about how I'm going to pay that money back.
The sophomore journalism major recently applied to have some of her $12,000 in student loans forgiven by the federal government.
Why is it that you think that the government should pick up that tab?
It is a fair point to raise. I think that everyone has a right to say how their taxes are being spent. I feel like taxes are for the greater good, and this is for the greater good.
The U.S. Education Department last year, citing a need to protect the greater good during the pandemic, invoked emergency powers.
This is a game changer.
The agency offering to absolve as much as $20,000 of federal student loans for more than 40 million eligible borrowers. But the plan's $430 billion price tag didn't sit well with Republicans in 6 states, who saw it as a bailout exclusive to college students.
It's unfair to people who paid off their loans. It's unfair to people who didn't take out loans.
Missouri's then Attorney General Eric Schmitt sued to stop it.
How is federal debt relief for almost 500,000 Missourians? How does that hurt Missouri? Isn't it good for Missouri?
Well, I mean, it's adding to our debt, number one. I think the reason why this case is before the Supreme Court and why Missouri and the other states are ultimately going to win is because Missouri has a loan servicing organization called MOHELA that derives revenue from interest.
MOHELA, or the Missouri Higher Education Loan Authority, is the nation's largest servicer of federal student loans with more than 5 million accounts totaling $148 billion. Missouri's new Attorney General says forgiving those loans would mean less money for MOHELA and, in turn, fewer benefits for Missouri.
The court has identified it as a public entity that administers student loans and provides college assistance programs for people across the state of Missouri. And so the state has an interest in it.
He says the most direct financial interest is a state law requiring MOHELA to pay $350 million to help fund improvements to state colleges and universities. Some of the money used for upgrades like this medical center in Columbia. But MOHELA still owes $105 million more.
They have not kept that up. And so to say that you have borrowers who, they need to pay what they owed, well, MOHELA does not pay what they owe.
Missouri Congresswoman Cori Bush says the company is being used as a pawn.
MOHELA was created by the state, but they are not a part of the state.
MOHELA, which did not respond to a request for comment or an interview, is notably not challenging the Biden loan forgiveness plan. Some top conservative legal scholars have told the Supreme Court while they don't like the debt cancellation plan, letting Missouri challenge it could set a dangerous precedent.
If these states are granted standing here, it could lead to far broader abilities of the states who haul the federal government into court.
A high-stakes decision that hinges entirely on whether the justices believe debt relief for millions hurts MOHELA, which in turn hurts Missouri.
The soaring cost of higher education these days is so insane and so inaccessible for so many people. And I think that just leveling out the playing fields, I think that's really important.
No question, guys, a lot on the line here. The White House says about 90% of the relief under their plan would go to those earning less than $75,000 a year. At the same time, of course, it would cost the government nearly $500 billion, guys.
Hey, Devin, before you go, obviously so many families, they're still really struggling with student debt. What happens if the Supreme Court strikes down this plan? I mean, is there any other sign and hope for relief?
Yeah, that's a great question, Gio. A lot of people asking it as they watch this. The federal government does have other options. They have some tools and authorities that can help ease repayment of those loans. And the administration has told me they plan to go back to the drawing board if they lose this case. But make no mistake, if they lose in court here, those future tools and authorities are likely to end up in court as well. So this is a really big deal tomorrow, and a lot of people watching it very closely, guys.
All right. I know you'll be watching, and we will as well. Devin Dwyer, thank you so much for that.
Well,
hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.